get this. In Canada, outside of Toronto, there's a town called Cobourg. And a few months ago, their town council members were approached about a proclamation. Can you declare December to be Christian Heritage Month? And I know that sounds like a Christian nationalist thing in the US, but I guess for this town council, it's not the sort of proposal they were used to. And so they just were like, yeah, that sounds fine. We will declare December Christian Heritage Month. And this is actually what they agreed to. This is according to their minutes from their website. They said, therefore, be it resolved that the council approved the request for December to be proclaimed Christian Heritage Month. And it doesn't say it on here, but apparently this request was for the next 5 years. But they said yes to this back in October of last year. Okay, fine. Honestly, is it the biggest deal? Maybe not. It's a symbolic thing, but okay, they did that. So it turns out there was an atheist in that community named Bob LeDrew. And when he saw that, he was like, well, if they're going to allow a Christian Heritage Month, I want them to acknowledge my atheism. So he asked the council if they would declare March 23rd to be Atheist Awareness Day, which is an actual like pseudo holiday that a lot of people do things for online. A small segment of people, sure, but like you could search Atheist Awareness Day, March 23rd. It's a thing. So he said, all right, I want a proclamation designating March 23rd Atheist Awareness Day. And when he submitted that proposal, guess what the town told him? They said, nope, we're not doing it. And he's like, why? And they said, well, our town policies, they pointed him to the town policies. Look what it says. Flag raisings and proclamations related to the following will not be approved. And one of the things on here is religious organizations or the celebration of religious events. So they're like, we don't do proclamations about religion. And Bob LeDrew's like, but you guys totally did with Christian Heritage Month. So what the hell are you talking about? And so what did Bob do after that? He submitted a formal proposal and he basically said, hey, town council, I want time at your upcoming meeting so I can talk to you about my plan. And they basically had to let him have some public time to do this. Check this out. This is the proposal he sent. Request for proclamation of Atheist Awareness Day, March 23rd, 2025. Look what he says. The 2021 census shows that more than a third of Canadians identify as non-religious, a doubling in 20 years. With council declaring Christian Heritage Month in December 2024, it should recognize the large proportion of non-theists that exist. And what does he want to recommend to the council? Proclaim March 23rd as Atheist Awareness Day. It's pretty straightforward. So that is what happened this past, maybe last week or the week before. He spoke to the council members and made his case. He did it via like Zoom. And so the video quality, I don't have video to show you here because it's just not that good of video. But basically, for the couple minutes that Bob got to speak, he said, look, you screwed up when you approved the Christian proclamation. And if anything, the argument to accept Atheist Awareness Day is on stronger footing because it's not a religion, so it's not subject to the rules prohibiting religious proclamations. And that also, while Christian Heritage Month is kind of a slap in the face to all non-Christians, Atheist Awareness Day isn't anti-anybody. So he's like, there's no reason to say yes to them and no to me. So he made that argument, and he actually pointed out during his comments that he agrees with the town policy. He doesn't think they should have any religious proclamations. He said, I think government is best done as a secular organization. So he just wants them to either honor his day or enforce their rules across the board. And then he was done doing his speech. They turned off the phone or whatever. And then this is what's amazing. Guess what the town council decided to do? Right after that, and again, the video is bad, otherwise I would show it to you. They went through their old proclamation where they said yes to Christian Heritage Month, and they went through and rescinded it. Basically saying, yeah, we made a mistake a few months ago. So December is no longer going to be Christian Heritage Month for the next several years that we said it would be. It's just December. And if you want to celebrate it, you can. But they went back and rescinded it. They did not say yes to Atheist Awareness Day. Instead, they said, yeah, we screwed up when we said yes to the Christians, which is absolutely the right thing to do because they're at least playing by the same rules. So I spoke to Bob LeDrew about this. I was like, what do you think about this? And this is what he told me. To be frank, I didn't care much. I didn't much care if March 23rd was proclaimed or not. My real goal was to make it clear that going against the town's policy opened the door to something that is really counterproductive, and that they should have made a decision that followed through the logic of the policy, which, if you read it, is quite sensible. He said that this felt like the best possible outcome to me, and that I believe the council will be far more thoughtful should some other proclamation request come before them in the future, and that's all I can ask for. And that is the most polite Canadian way to respond to all of that. That's amazing. And oh, by the way, he also wanted me to tell everybody that he felt he was treated with respect and courtesy by the staff and the elected officials, which is amazing because I feel like I never hear that in the United States. But I do want to point out, it's kind of incredible how all it took was like this simple nudge from this atheist, not anti-Christian, by the way, in any way, but just saying, hey, town of mine, stop treating Christians better than everybody else because that's what you did here. And the town looked at it. They're like, oh, yes, we did. We should not have done that. And then they fixed their mistake. Like, what they did by rescinding Christian Heritage Month is not anti-Christian, it's neutrality. Now, I'm sure some Christians are going to complain about it, but again, neutrality is not anti-you. That's okay. And I hope they don't make that same mistake in the future, but kudos to Bob for making them aware of it and fixing that problem. I will stop there for now. Every day is an atheist holiday. Damn right. Not on April 1st, like Christians like to joke when they're really bad at humor. But yes, every day is a holiday if you want it to be. Considering how many of our founders were atheist or agnostic, the other 11 months should be devoted to humanistic celebration and the pursuit of truth. I like that. I don't want to give up December, though. That's a nice one. It's daylight longer. So, like, or I'm sorry, it's shorter daylight, but it's a nature thing. Let's have fun with the solstice. Do whatever you want. I want the whole year. Christians act like they own the whole year. A proclamation to celebrate no religious proclamations? It's a good idea. We should do that too. They all celebrated with a shot of maple syrup, as is tradition. Yes.